My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence, that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity. Theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. License 6YYS 763. The people of the state are gang stalking with the Ontario International Airport. I'm taking images of that. It's currently, just for time purposes, it's 7:12 a.m. So you will see the entity stalking by commercial planes at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, specifically stalking me. You can Compare this with them stalking me while I'm at the back portion of the Ontario Village Shopping Center, and they are flying over the back portion of the Ontario Village Shopping Center, centered on where my location is, and that's where you also see the engineer light. The entity is engaging in what is stalking in concert with the Ontario Police. That, as I captured that night, I'm capturing Ontario Police stalking on a daily basis. But this is the entity. Ontario International Airport is being shut down for unprecedented criminal activity. The illegitimate operations of a facilitating venue and not an actual airport. They are engaged in criminal surveillance. They're engaged in violation of Title 18. They're engaged in the criminal conspiracy to commit murder while they maintain criminal surveillance. They're also engaged in what is ongoing criminal obstruction of justice, which is an additional federal crime in and of itself. They're doing so while they are also a violent sex offender. In the same way that you see them pacing over the Ontario Village Shopping Center while I'm standing in front of the Kings Inc. at 628 D as in Dog, Holt Boulevard, inside of the Ontario Village Shopping Center. This is adjacent to the Anchor Stater Brothers. Okay, this is along Holt Boulevard where there is no airport takeoffs. It's the same thing when they're stalking me up and down Euclid Avenue. The entity is doing so while they are also monitoring my vagina. The Ontario International Airport is a violent sex offender, and in the same way that the people of the state are crossing paths on the roads and the highways while the demon is above in a plane, they're pacing together. That's what they do when they enter in and out of the bathroom, when they're pacing all around the bathroom. The Ontario International Airport is being shut down literally for what is the proof of the pattern of conduct, which includes an airport, commercial airlines monitoring my genitalia. This is why the Ontario International Airport is being shut down. This is relevant to the entirety of the Ontario board and the Ontario executive team. Otif El-Kadi, he is a CEO of vagina monitoring, okay? He is a terrorist and a violent sex offender, and it's the same with Alan D. WAPNER. He is a president of vagina monitoring. This is not an airport, and this is an exposed cover regarding criminal surveillance in Ontario, in California, and in furtherance of murder. This is P.O.C. It's currently 7:14 a.m. Recall my video documentation where the entity is stalking by plane right here at Volz Church, and they do a cartwheel over this building. They do so because I captured them stalking, feigning a takeoff much earlier than what they are now. They are also deviating, no longer flying over the parking lot over the Stater Brothers on this side of the street. That's UPS, that is a terrorist. Monitoring 8MSV 386. They're stalking with the people of the state who are engaging in psychopathic pacing. They enter into the bathroom engaging in what is vagina monitoring together as well. UPS is a murderer. They committed murder in Kentucky on purpose. The entity that is gang stalking is showing you how they commit murder, acts of terrorism, and this is surveillance on the roads and the highways, which Omnitrans is engaged in. Demons that are operating school buses are engaging in, and the entity is doing so while they are monitoring the evidence. There's no airport where UPS would still be hovering. There's also no airport when you're taking off that you would be engaging with flying away from, oh, just kidding, and doing a cartwheel and flying back in the opposite direction. And when I captured that video, you could see my shadow filling the ground right here in front of this fake church, Volz Church. Gang stalking demons who congregate. This is P.O.C. It's currently 7:19 a.m. The entity is maintaining the specific environment while they are stalking on the roads and the highways, maintaining amplified audible activity, the vehicle lights, the light activity around. Remember, it's in the engineered environment. They're maintaining the activity while they are pacing all around me. This is stalking. It is underscored when you see the fake sun, okay? This is the entity replicating in real time what is the ongoing concession to stalking. And the Ontario police are going to federal prison. As CASA, that's gang stalking. They're conceding to all of it. These are demons who are suicidal, very highly unintelligent, and these are murderers and serial killers. They're pedophiles, they're rapists, they're kidnappers, and they're engaging in what is providing evidence of them engaging in the pattern of conduct. There's nothing that you are successfully demonstrating other than the fact that you're listening in real time to what I'm stating, because there's no coincidence with regard to what has nothing to do with taking off from Terminal 2 and Terminal 4. While they are on Holt Boulevard right here, they're engaging like they're taking off and landing at the Chevron on Euclid Avenue, which is north of this location, where they are stalking me. That's the P.O.C. It is currently, by the way, where the entity UPS is stalking. UPS is a murderer. Ontario International Airport is going to be shut down because of the national security threat. You have murderers that are hiding behind company names, making money and engaging in terrorism in the United States. That's why the airport's being shut down. And the entity is going to be federally prosecuted because that's an unlawful threat, what they're doing with the planes. While you're being documented, that impunity, it's equaling damages and it's equaling time in federal prison. Those demons are coming out of those cockpits and they're going to prison. P.O.C. Alrighty, along with the airport stalking, like you just listened to on video, you have the demons of Belko, Elecnor, gang stalking. Okay, they're doing so on the roads and the highways using the commercial vehicles as the exact same method of light activity facilitation by the masses. Belcorp will be criminally prosecuted for that, and so will the demons operating those commercial vehicles. License 27929D4, and this is how the criminal conduct of the government is incriminating the people of the state who have no defense, and there's nothing that you're doing other than the elements of monitoring that's going to supersede the unlawful threat posed to the life of an American citizen, where the government is gang stalking through the people of the state corrupt actors and terrorists like Belcorp, Elecnor. Okay, that is again license plate 27929 David 4, and those demons, all they do while they're engaged in the pattern of conduct, you document. You haven't done this before, so you're witnessing what is the malice of the P.O.C. The entity has the fake sun where I'm at. They're already surrounded, so they're going to be diagnosed with regard to the malice. You're wearing a neon yellow jacket and you hop out and start assembling equipment, putting up signs in the heavily documented gang stalker city of Ontario. You're going to be federally prosecuted. The city of Ontario incriminates you. The entity engaged in the pattern of conduct period is a prosecution. These demons are relying on their facial expressions. They're relying on the uniforms that they're wearing. They're relying on their positions. They're relying on their relationship towards you, and it's all irrelevant. The entity is monitoring an environment amongst the population that are engaging in public corruption, and I will prosecute, and I will make an example out of Elecnor. Excuse me, Belcorp Elecnor. That's a terrorist. These are not companies, these are terrorists. And this is how the United States is engaging in targeting American citizens. And by the way, Belcorp is fully engaged in targeting, monitoring you, monitoring your genitalia, and they do so with blatant disregard of your rights because they're monitoring the evidence and they are still engaging in that pattern of conduct. Receiving a paycheck, needing to pay your rent while you're conspiring the murder of another American citizen is inadequate. It's not just, and it is not appropriate or okay or understandable. This is the entity that's engaging in that, and it's all state action. Elecnor is not a private company, it's a third party. While they're engaged in the pattern of conduct, you will be prosecuted. This is P.O.C. It's currently 7:26 a.m. The entity stalking literally by airport and being in the path with light activity while the people of the state are also pacing on the roads and the highways. Context is the government stalking in a manner that's irreconcilable. There's no takeoffs from the terminals while you're hovering over Emporia Place, and the entity engaging in what is real-time repetition of what it is that I'm reciting, which again is abnormal. You're not doing cartwheels from the airport. They're not giving Ferris wheel rides and tours of the city with the commercial planes. They're not taking off and then oh, just kidding. We're changing our mind and we're going back. I'm documenting this in the specific environment, which is fully established at HOLT Boulevard and Euclid Avenue, a history of documentation of the city of Ontario, downtown Ontario, engaging in what is the pattern of conduct, and in doing so with the array of airline companies who are on the record waiting for me to drag them in court. And that's exactly what's happening while UPS and any other terrorist is gang stalking me in the foolish manner that they are always doing, just like they reiterate. It's because it's the same demonic spirit. You're getting that same foolish behavior, which is playing into my hand with regard to prosecuting them. The entity is engaging in that, and Belcorp is directly engaging in that pattern of conduct, and that's what you're understanding. So you have the pattern of conduct. There's no controversy there, and Belcorp is doing so with regard to what is corruption. And you're not going to maintain a business while you're engaging in what is corruption. Corruption, which is serving murder, conspiracy to murder, ongoing federal stalking under Title 18, and you're also making money from it. All right, and so this is the entity that's engaged in that, and that's exactly what Omnitrans does. All right, license 1545945. The driver is outside studying her device while the Ontario International Airport is hovering. Not now taking off over the Emporia Place, now they're taking off over the B&G Plaza. By taking off, I mean rising up in elevation while you flew miles away from the airport to then rise up in elevation. That's the entity that's stalking. Hi, is this one going toward the Riverside Drive in Archibald?
Yeah.
Okay, this is P.O.C. It's Eastville, right?
Yeah.
Because it was the other one and I was getting confused about, I want to make sure it's on the right direction.
Yeah, this one is, the one that's going to Eastville is...
Toward the Ontario Police Department is where I need to go. Would that be this?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Archibald, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I have my password on one second. So, I was on time, right?
Yeah, there's two. At this time, there's two of us. So if you miss me, you get the other one behind me.
Okay. Okay, so... Oh, I'm like, what's going on? The Wi-Fi's not on. Okay. Oh my God. you. And just like that, I am being monitored by the same one that is operating the vehicle. The wealth of documentation of Omnitrans engaging the P.O.C. is already on the record. So the entity is always threatening your life while you're aboard public transportation, while you are on the roads and the highways and you're being targeted. This is also relevant, and this is what the government is cognizant of upon damages being awarded for unprecedented criminal conduct by a public entity in concert with the population who are effectively that public entity. They're not private citizens. They're not private businesses. They're not engaging in any private speech. It's unprotected under the Constitution. It's all government speech, all government conduct, serving the government's criminal pattern of conduct. And it's relevant to an unlawful threat posed by that government. And the government is also doing it, relevant to damages as well, relevant to sentencing for criminal activity. The government is doing it while it is keeping the evidence against itself under surveillance. All right, it's currently, as you can hear, it's 7:30 a.m. I am aboard Route 87, going toward the Ontario Police Department, who have been engaged in ongoing gang stalking. They've been targeting me while simultaneously not responding to what is a time-sensitive request for my property that they stole upon kidnapping me. That is not an accident either. The Ontario International Airport is gang stalking while the Ontario Police are intentionally targeting with regard to not pay. You have a limited amount of days to get your property back, but yet you're not answering the phone at the department during open business hours while you're still gang stalking me by helicopter at the same time. You're monitoring me. This is what they're doing at the OVITT Family Community Library, but I can't get anybody to answer the phone at the evidence department, return my phone call regarding my voice message that I left, and I recorded that on the podcast yesterday, which was September 9th, 2026. This is while the entity is engaging in that pattern of conduct, and I also want to be clear with regard to what is the petty, albeit criminal, and also a pathetic tactic. They are seeking to kidnap, steal my property, damage my property, like, for example, steal my, throw away my sleeping bag, in order to stop me from publishing the evidence from 2022. They're going to prison. All right, they're going to federal prison. These are the imbeciles that are engaging in high criminal activity. This is a criminal organization. They're a bunch of lowlifes. They're a bunch of barbarians. They're unintelligent, vagina monitoring psychopaths, and that's not hyperbolic. Okay, this is an entity that's engaged in that because of what I'm publishing, and it's still being published. And I'm also going to publish relevant to federal prison, because this is no small thing. Oppressing a transient, oppressing someone that is in that situation because you've been targeting them, and then you utilize that, engage in more criminal activity as a means that's desperation. With regard to seeking to obstruct justice, stop me from publishing because I'm so overwhelmed that I don't have a sleeping bag and a blanket, and I don't have any money to replace it, and I have to go get my property because they're not answering the phone. Oh, if they don't answer the phone, what am I going to do? This is the ongoing distress, psychological harm while you are gang stalking the whole time. The whole time. This is what Belcourt, Elecnor, this is what the City of Ontario, this is what the Ontario International Airport are all serving in together. It is not ultimately successful. What it is serving is that this is informing federal law. Every policy that I have laid out is that which is pursuant to long-term exposure, studying what the entity is doing to people who are in a position not able to defend themselves, protect themselves, advocate, represent themselves, speak in an intelligible manner, not because they're stupid, but because the demons are psychotic. How do you describe what is a fake sun? How do you describe what is engineered light flying in the air and your shadow above your head without evidence, and you're supposed to appear? That's designed to make that person appear as they're mentally ill. But these are vagina monitoring gargoyles, psychotic, maniacal, diabolical, and they're going into cages. Okay, and this is what Craig Hazelwood and Owens, they voluntarily, enthusiastically go in, and that's fine. Terrorists are going exactly where they're begging to go: prison. Enemies of this country, targeting and oppressing American citizens. Please use rear doors. Someone as capable as myself, you are putting in my position, the one that I'm speaking for, the one that is overwhelmed, the one that is traumatized, the one that is in shock emotionally, physically, psychologically, and the one that is given up, that is sitting around kidnapped somewhere and has been targeted. Perhaps is an heir to millions of dollars somewhere, but they've been targeted by the government that was able to steal their identity, gang stalk them, defame them, and lock them up while some other demon is walking around with their identity on. This is what the entity tried to do. It's not happening, but this is exposing what is the corruption of this entity, while these lowlifes, these pedophiles, these stalkers, they're demons, are sitting around targeting American citizens like this. This is what the people of the state are. This is what the people of the state of California are. This is what you need to know. All right, it is currently 7:34 a.m. This is relevant to damages. I have to spend my money after you're kidnapping me while you have stolen my property. You never had any right to do so in the first place. Remember, all of this is going toward what is time in federal prison. It's no ordinary means of oppression. It's exacerbated by the homeless state of an American citizen. And even if you have millions of dollars and the entity is kidnapping you for 2 hours and then releasing you, and you don't have any problem getting your property back, it is no less criminal for the government. But you are going to appreciate the harms of an American citizen who was placed in an oppressive circumstance, and then that entity is seeking to enhance that to obstruct justice. Demons like Hazelwood and Owens are going under the prison. Don't forget the demons of the court. You claim you have a warrant? We'll see about that. That warrant is putting you in prison. Any and every last one of them helping kidnappers. The Ontario police are embarrassing themselves and everybody else that dare stand next to them for kidnapping. You're going to federal prison. Already said that. Craig Hazelwood is speaking about a warrant. That's an admission to the entity. They're going to produce it because they're going to federal prison. They put that on video when they kidnapped me, claiming and asserting a warrant. They're going to federal prison. That represents the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. It is currently 7:35 a.m. Like I said, this is relevant context. It's currently February 10, 2026. I am aboard Route 87 en route to inquire about my property that the state of California stole with the intent, the ongoing desperation, and the fear regarding. I just want to let you know, while this entity is so fearful of what I'm publishing, and not that I need it, I don't need validation from Satan, but this is how you know that I'm speaking 1,000% truth. And it is unabated, unadulterated truth, and that's why they're so fearful. That's why they're so desperate. That's why you have losers willing to go to prison rather than more truth about others being exposed. But I want to be clear, Fontana Police Department, Pomona Police Department, Chino Police Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, okay, and every other agency that I've documented, because if you go through, you're talking about, I have a long laundry list, I'll put it that way, of agencies that are exposed through my documentation, but this is exposing the United States government. Okay, it's greater than the long laundry list of agencies that are terrorist organizations exposed in the U.S. are exposing what the United States government is doing throughout this country. That's how I'm able to expose that many so-called police departments, because it's a countrywide system. Okay, the entities engaging in that based upon what is inevitably incriminating everybody else. Because I'm being oppressed for publishing evidence about the Fontana Police Department, the Fontana Police Department, you need to understand, are the same entity. Fontana Police are kidnapping me. Upland Police are kidnapping me. And you're going to prison for that. You're going to federal prison. The entities engaged in that, this is what I'm saying. You're not getting out of the pattern of conduct. All a loser can do is exacerbate what are already detrimental circumstances, but there is no logic or no reasoning with psychopaths, which is also why they are to be removed out of the positions that they hold, which is also why they need to be identified as the threats that they are in this country and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law that terrorists require in the United States. That's exactly why. Because all they see is the fact that all they know how to do is engage in what is more harm, more terrorism. These are career murderers, career criminals who are in the position of government. So that's all they see, because that's all they know. And this is all that they've done and have gotten away with it before. It's not happening now, but you're looking at what they are accustomed to. These are career murderers, stalkers, psychos, undiagnosed, unchecked. So the entities engaging in that pattern of conduct, and they're going to serve the penalties for it because they are still engaging in it while all it is doing is serving for it. That's why Fontana Police are going to prison. That's why Upland Police are going to prison. That's why you're being prosecuted as a terrorist leader, which will result in you going to federal prison. That's why they're getting mental examinations. That's why you're going to be committed in an asylum, in a prison, 23-hour lockdown. Treated like the American citizens that they target, who are perfectly sound, of sound mind, by the way. Righty, it is currently 7:38 a.m. This is P.O.C. Griffith Company is gang stalking at Riverside Drive, doing so while they are monitoring, targeting. All the entity knows that I'm on the bus, and that's proven through the specific environment. Griffith Company, California license 88. It's a red truck, and they're doing so while they are crossing path. They're pacing in the parking lot. That appears on the surface as they're doing construction work. They're maneuvering. License 90755 Robert 2. While they are wearing these hard hats and these bright neon jackets and all the lights on the vehicles, and they've got a drill in their hand, they're demons that are monitoring. Okay, and this is state surveillance. They even engage in construction, the wasting of expenditures, merely to engage in what is setting up light activity. These are the type, when you're talking about spending millions of dollars on following me around with commercial planes and using your helicopters to follow me around, that's exactly what the entity does engage in, okay? And it's based on maintaining surveillance, and as I've shown, it's based on keeping me under surveillance. It's a means of light activity. It's a means of maintaining activity with the demons who are the people that stay pacing all around in the traffic. That's the pattern of conduct. Griffith Company is a terrorist, and that's the entity that shall lose things such as licensure for a business to engage in construction or landscaping or whatever the trade is that which is criminal. It is abused. It's also malicious while the government is engaging in surveillance, and Griffith Company is the government that's engaging in photo group stalking monitoring. License Victor 477 Zebra 0. And Student Transportation of America, very heavily documented gang stalker, targeting me on the roads and the highways as well. License plate 7JOY168. It is currently 7:58 a.m. This is P.O.C. Good morning. Hi. I'm here because I wasn't able to get a hold of the evidence department, and it's time sensitive with regard to getting my property back, right?
Sure, you can go ahead and try to call them right now at 1982.
So I can call them from here? Because I've called them on my own. I just wanted to come and make an appointment here in person since I can't.
Yeah, so we can't schedule the appointments, so they have to schedule their own appointments.
Okay, so no one's able to get a hold of the evidence department?
If they're here, they'll pick up that phone right there.
Okay.
So 1982.
1982? Thank you. It's 8:30 a.m. Good morning. My name is Erica Spencer. I wanted to call to find out the soonest I could come and pick up my property that was seized on, what was it, February 4th? I left a message.
What's the case number?
I will get that for you right now. I don't know if you were able to get my message, but I'll get it though. Hold on. The case number is 2602-00115.
9 o'clock the next appointment. Do you want that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just be in the lobby with an ID. We'll have it ready for you by then.
Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you. It's currently 8:31 a.m. This is bus 1207. The bus driver is stalking. Everybody sitting on the bus is stalking, including the whole airport that's maintaining polite activity. It's so pathetic. Omnitrans being prosecuted. This is what it looks like when demons are discerned and you prosecute them for their criminal conduct. They're demon-possessed kids engaged in that pattern of conduct together. Can you open the back, please? Thank you. This is license plate. It's a Latina female. The license plate on Omnitrans bus 1207-1613615. She's stalking. Under the law, she's stalking. She's stalking with Omnitrans, but vehicle number 534, which under the guise of the employees changing. I documented them gang stalking coming from Ontario Airport in. You're looking at the airport that's stalking under the fake sun, the Asian male and the African American who are pacing with the impossible light that's swimming on the bus while they engage in what is the business of Omnitrans and what is also, with regard to a federal RICO case, what is not the business of Omnitrans, federal group stalking and monitoring. Okay, vehicle number 534 with the hazard lights on at the B&G Plaza as this bus pulls up and they're engaging in that pattern of conduct together, 1730873. Again, 1613615 is the license plate of the bus that I'm on. She is stalking. She's doing so in furtherance of murder. The entity is engaging in all manner, flying over the corners while the bus is turning throughout the route, engaging in all manner of cartwheels. These are the terrorist Southwest Airlines. These are all stalkers sitting on the bus. This is how pathetic the demons that you now know that they are
This is how pathetic they are, okay? And they're stalking for no reason. There will be no sacrifice. They all sacrifice themselves. So the entity is engaging in what is stalking to be stalking, while they are engaging in what is a public walk of shame. Everything that they're doing showing that they worship me, okay? And you know why? They're bowing before the throne of God, whom the demons are subservient to, okay? They're engaging in what is pathetic, and under the law, it's criminal. License 1545811, bus 2351, light activity. P.O.C. This is pathetic. It's laughable, and that's because of the the court victory that I have. But this is victory regarding, these are demons. So this is spiritual warfare. Satan is no formidable adversary for Christ. These demons are suicidal, and that's that's the fact, okay? You just have demons that are engaging in public corruption with regard to company names, where you are consuming their products. They're demons and they're demonic companies, and they're engaging in all manner of what is criminal activity with the government, riddled, infected with demons. This is why they are embarrassing themselves while they are stalking. Stalking in the face of, an epic monstrosity of defeat. Okay, it's pathetic. Okay, this is P.O.C. It's currently 11:32 a.m. I am back at B&G Plaza. Of course, you can hear the disgust in my voice while demons are engaging in what is stalking, and you use everything that you have at your disposal, everything about you and your whole demonic family, your business, all the money you have, all the time you have, you schedule time out of your day to worship me. Their worship is in the form of stalking, and it's criminal. P.O.C. It's currently 11:32 a.m. All right, I just want to document this. This is a Securitas, the Latino male that engaged in criminal summoning with the Ontario police, including CEASELESS, that was stalking the other night, right across the street over here where the fake sun rises and sets. This is a sex offender that's going around. He wasn't able to molest me the first time I moved out the way, so we went on ahead and did a second round to make sure that he can touch my breasts and my face and my body with engineer light. This is a sex offender, and this is sexual violence, which is demonic, pursuant to criminal monitoring me, that is murdering me. Okay, this is Securitas that's engaging in it, and it's the third party who's already documented engaging in criminal summoning. That's already federal prison. He's an ongoing serial sex offender and engaging in that while the government is still targeting me. I want to document that. It's 9:16 p.m. This is at the OVITT Family Community Library, who are sharing in sexual violence while the entity commits sexual assault and battery. They're all a bunch of demons maintaining an ongoing criminal sex act, and they're all monitoring you together. That's P.O.C. Securitas is the sex offender and the third party operating that golf cart, which does not create vacillating light and rich concentrating blinding light. This is in the specific environment. Securitas is going to be federally prosecuted for unlawful touching pursuant to stalking, while companies are going to be prosecuted for gang stalking as the government utilizes them. This is P.O.C. It's 9:16 p.m. License plate 9LPC536. Molesting. Stalking in the path is like that XHELLX license plate. Let's see which one this is. There's a demon at 320 North Euclid Avenue. On Sarah's Regis Group is lying in wait to engage in what is sexual assault and battery. License plate 3DFU503. And this is the sex offender, the one with the multiple weaves. She changes the weave every day. License 9EZK933. The African-American with Securitas gang stalking me with the Ontario police in the infamous October 2025 video that's putting her in prison. P.O.C. is currently 9:32 p.m. License 7MBJ902, I believe. Crossing path, stalking coming out of the Hensley Torta, 615 North Euclid, where their co-defendants are engaging in sexual assault and battery. And these two homosexual demons are inside of that venue sharing in sexual assault and battery. And they are now with bucket, crab, and crawfish, again, where their headlights are not going to touch the Hensley Torta building. And this sex offender license 9EVV441 is monitoring while that impossible light activity is coexisting with her stalking. And I just took a picture of it proving that. And I just want to be clear, that's her prosecution. It's that simple. This is state action. This is P.O.C. El Pescador is stalking. Bucket, crab, and crawfish, and everybody in that venue. They're engaging in state surveillance while a demon is engaging in what is exposing everyone simultaneously. I will civilly and criminally prosecute all of these businesses that are targeting together. This is P.O.C. It's currently, by the way, 9:39 p.m. where the population is sharing that pattern of conduct, and that's the government that's stalking through every business, engaging in sexual assault and battery like Securitas, engaging in that pattern of conduct with knowledge of who I am, while you were touching with that which you can never touch with. The headlights that are created by these manufacturers are not reaching that distance and blinding each other. And the entity is also stalking by plane in concert with 9 EVV 441 P.O.C. Just want you to hear that because that's her prosecution. Her turn signal is blight activity. And that's the airport that's stalking at the Stater Brothers this morning. Okay, hovering there and I guess dipping back down low again to then hover again over the Stater Brothers parking lot. She's a stalker, and so are all the people of the state. This is the entity that's going to prison, including the Ontario Police Department crossing paths. With the rest of the demons, they're no different. Those are demons that are a threat to the public because they go around acting like they're cops, and they're not. They're demons. They're stalkers. All right. It is currently, by the way, where the people of the state are engaging in criminal activity with the city of Ontario. It's currently 9:41 p.m. The entity is engaging in this at the Hensley Torta. That's 615 North Euclid Avenue, where they are sharing in sexual violence everywhere that I'm going. That's Securitas, that's Bucket Crab and Crawfish, that's ARCO at 434 North Euclid Avenue, that's the Bethel congregation, stalkers tracking my steps and going to the intersection so that they can take their turn, touching all over my body with that which is not even naturally occurring. This is what the demon-possessed do when they maintain a an ongoing sex crime while they keep a fake sun over me and all they're doing is pacing all around me stalking. This is the entity that's going to be committed. They will be subject to commitments and they will be subject to federal prison, just like that of the kidnappers of the Ontario Police Department, who are exceedingly violent sex offenders and psychopaths that want to wear badges and bear guns while they're engaging in the exact same criminal activity. P.O.C. License plate DD24U3, that's a paper plate, parked at what is, I believe this is 621, where Uber was gang stalking me. And so is this third party gang stalking me with Uber, sharing in sexual assault and battery at the facilitated venue where they reside. P.O.C. It is 9:42 p.m. A lot of plates. How many times are we speaking of it? Look at this thing. Can I help you? Can I help you? Do you want to keep recording? 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 Can I help you? Can I help you? Let me get it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, really? Go ahead. Keep telling the camera. Keep telling the camera. Keep telling the camera. This is Ontario Police speaking. Keep talking. Keep talking. Look at all these gang members. They're all gang stalkers. They're all in engineer light. They're all in engineer light. These are the demons stalking with light. This is the entity stalking with helicopter. This is the entity stalking by the Ontario airport. These are the demons that are gang stalking. That's why they're going to prison. And I got her license plate. This is an entity. This is a threat. This is a threat while they're monitoring. And keep talking. And this is the gym speaking. They're inside of the gym, gang stalking. While you're monitoring, this is the state speaking. These ignoramuses that are out here feeling mighty because they have 17 teenagers coming and approaching while they're engaging in federal stalking. This is prison. This is prison. You and your mommy. You and your mama. You're out here gang stalking though. And she's yelling about what they're doing, the same exact thing. Everybody's holding up their phone. Are you enjoying it? Because you're out here stalking me and you're speaking as a state. You're ignorant. You're out here ignorant, running your face, running up like you're going to do, that's the state. You're talking to the wrong person. You are. You're talking as the state. You're out here with a phone holding it and talking about me recording while you're violating the law. You're ignorant. You're out here ignorant and naked. Nobody, and so are you. So are you. So are you. You're ignorant. You're doing the exact same thing. And you crowding around me, is that supposed to be a threat? Am I supposed to be quiet? Am I supposed to back up? Because no, that's what I saw right now. That's what I recorded. And while you're doing the exact same thing, what is so funny? Are you in 4th grade? You're outside past your curfew. You look like a child with bad skin. Go get your acne medicine. Your little kids out here gang stalking. I don't know who you think you're threatening. Where's your parents at? Because I'll prosecute them as well. I'll prosecute your parents as well. You're following her, she gonna have you locked up. You're talking to the wrong person. Out here gang stalking, or what? Or what? Or what? Or what? You're gang stalking. Stop talking, Satan. You're gang stalking. You are gang stalking. You are a criminal on the wrong side of the law, engaged in federal stalking, holding her phone up, yelling about holding a phone while she's doing the same thing, and they crowd around doing that. These are the gang members. This is why Mike Lorenz is going to prison. This is why Paul Leon's getting out. What? You're the one that's you're supposed to be intimidating, and everybody out here is going to prison. What are you working out? You're going to be in prison working out. What you working out? Gathering around me with a bunch of girls. You're a punk. You're a punk. Gathering out. You feel like you were big and strong? You're gang stalking. You're a coward. You're not even a man. What are you working out? You're gang stalking. You a punk. You're a punk. That was supposed to be something. They're all out here gang stalking. Running up like you're going to do something. That's the P.O.C. Those are the gang members that are stalking by planes and helicopters, and that's the entity that engages in that, and that's supposed to stop you from documenting. That's what that's about. Everybody in this parking lot is aiding in that threat. Everybody in the parking lot, every single last one of them, stalking with impossible light activity. Everybody in their vehicles engaging in surveillance. Everybody comes out together, and nobody's doing anything. You're psychotic. You're all a bunch of demons. You're a bunch of demons. You're running your mouth and you're talking to the wrong person out here doing the same thing with your phone, but you're gang stalking. You ignorant. You're ignorant. You're ignorant. You're out here being a stalker. You're not a gangster. You're not a gangster. You're a stalker. You're a homosexual stalker out here stalking a woman. That's what's wrong with you. Hold up your phone and record that you're gay. Out here stalking another woman. Stalking another woman. You're pathetic. You're pathetic. You are not a gangster. You are not a thug. You are not about that life. With a whole bunch of people out here feeling like you're mighty, you're not. You're a punk. All of y'all out here talking mad, you're talking to the wrong one. Every single last one of y'all document all you punks and you'll be in prison. You need to shut your face when you gang stalking. You're a punk. Who you running up on? I'm documenting you. This will be on the internet. You will be in court. You're a fool. You are a fool. That wasn't no gangster move. That was not a gangster move. Everybody wants to get out their car and say everybody's going to prison. How about that? What's gangster about that? Who are you running up on? That's criminal defamation, you idiot. Keep talking, because that's criminal defamation. That's criminal defamation. You're not going to be threatening me while you're outside stalking. Your mother is psycho. Your mother is psycho. That's criminal defamation while you're gang stalking. That's criminal defamation. P.O.C. Want to be out here talking about what type of gangster is out here gang stalking? You don't have any ass. You look like a moose in the face. You ain't got no ass. You're out here naked stalking me. Looking for attention. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. That was supposed to be gangster, though. That was supposed to be gangster. All right, this is the reality of these gang members out here. This is what's out here engaging in kidnapping. This is what's out here engaging in harassment. This demon had engineer light under the car, approaching with the whole gang as though they're going to engage in violence, crowding all around. That's a threat. That's P.O.C. And this is Ontario police. This is Ontario police engaging in criminal defamation, engaging in what is threatening conduct, and they're monitoring now. P.O.C. They're monitoring now. You keep your punk self in the car because you're going to catch cases. You're going to catch a case. That's P.O.C. These are the gang members that hostile because you're being documented while you're stalking. These are the demons that are out here committing murder, and the Ontario police claiming that they're going to investigate. They commit murder on behalf of the state. Running up on a female. Y'all some punks. You're a punk. Your mother needs help. Your mother needs help. You don't have anything to work out. That's why you're out in the middle of the street gang stalking at night with girls. You're a girl. You are a woman. You are not a man. You are not a man. You're a punk out here. That makes you feel mighty? You're going to be dragged in court. You're ignorant. You're a bunch of punks. You're a bunch of punks. Still stalking. Still stalking. Still stalking. This is the entity that thinks that they're going to intimidate while you're stalking. They're a bunch of demons. They're demons. They're a bunch of demons. That's the P.O.C. You need to understand this is a reflection of the state. It's a reflection of the state. That's a reflection of the state. That's what you need to understand. And they're gang stalking, and then all of these little hoodlums gather all around me like I'm supposed to cower and stop documenting. That's what the entity has gang stalking on its behalf. That's what's stalking in planes with these little prepubescent kids with braces and acne. pulling out their phones and engaging in that as though that's supposed to stop it. That's federal prison, over and under majority. That's the pattern of conduct. That's gang violence. That's the P.O.C. You're going to deport them and their parents without even natural born. 9 EBL 387 harassment. P.O.C. It's pathetic. It is pathetic. And they're in this parking lot engaging in surveillance. The entire time I'm walking down the street, they're monitoring with what ARCO was engaging in, with what they're doing at Sarah's Regis Group, with the entity that is stalking as I'm walking through the parking lot. They're molesting, sex offenders sitting around engaging in surveillance, monitoring to that. That's the pattern of conduct. And they were all sitting in the parking lot and everybody together gets out of their car. Monitoring, that was all monitoring as well. That's the P.O.C. This is what's gang stalking. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And they're demon-possessed offspring as well. That's P.O.C. That's what's out here gang stalking in the middle of the night. That's a reflection of the state. And all these venues are sharing in that. Pizza Hut, I'm going to prosecute. All these businesses are making money off the gang stalking with these demons that are engaging in surveillance in their parking lot. In the parking lot of the venues. And the government is monitoring. I've already captured the entity stalking by helicopter, stalking by commercial plane, keeping the fake sun from sunrise until sunset. And then you have a
Indeed, the Ontario Police, that the gang members at the gym, they're attacking me and threatening me on the behalf of the Ontario Police that are being disbanded for the violence that the youth in this city are engaging in, for the ongoing physical attacks and theft of my property, capturing while they're engaging in criminal conduct just like that police department, while they're demons mentally ill just like the demons of those stalkers of that police department. This is the entity that's stalking me in concert with minor children. Mike LORENZ is going to be federally prosecuted, okay? This is an entity that is, again, a liability. This is demonic. This is light activity while the demon is flying over by helicopter. Okay? And this is the entity doing so upon departing from the gym where minor children are gathering around like they're going to physically attack me while they're engaging in criminal activity with this department, with this population. They're demon-possessed offspring that engage in terrorism in the U.S., and this is psychopathic pacing. This is criminal activity that those minor children over and under majority are sharing in. You see their faces. Their parents are being prosecuted. If their parents, and if they are not natural born citizens, you will be deported based on the criminal conduct of terrorism with your gang stalking children. Those are gang members and they are sharing in gang violence with Mike LORENZ. He's going to prison. He's going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. And these are the geniuses, by the way, who are removing my evidence off the internet that they are scared of. They've been deleting and removing my evidence with Jason Fields, Michael Moore of the LAPD. You have Mike LORENZ of the Ontario Police removing evidence for years while they're still engaging in gang stalking. He's going to prison for that. This is psychopathic pacing while a bunch of demons are in the parking lot stalking me. And they're engaging in what is then obstruction of justice, approaching like you're going to physically attack. That was assault. As an entity engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. Verbal threats to commit battery. As an entity engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. Criminal defamation. As an entity engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. Harassment and terrorism, sexual assault and battery via engineer light as an entity engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. As I depart from 715 North Euclid Avenue, the Pizza Hut, the entity now has police lights over there and they're engaging in the pattern of conduct. This is exactly what they're doing when I walk outside of the OVITT Family Community Library. This is exactly what they're doing when I document them, removing my evidence off of X, and then they start flying in circles around me and I capture it on video. And then Tracy Banks and the Ontario Police Department engage in criminal summoning on video over here. They're going to prison. Mike LORENZ is going to prison. You're witnessing the gang violence that minor children are engaging in because of that criminal. He's going to federal prison, and this is unprecedented bases, multiple bases, for prison and for removal of an organization for criminal activity. That is not a police department, and they engage in the criminal conduct as I capture. You could not have any more of what is the quintessence of what is a liability with regard to maintaining this organization. They are a threat to the public, while the minor children in the city are engaging in criminal activity. P.O.C. It is currently, by the way, when the entity engages in what is psychopathic pacing, they do so after I capture a bunch of teenagers engaging in what is threatening me on behalf of the state. That video is putting Mike LORENZ and other terrorist leaders, they're going to prison. They're going to federal prison, and it's the basis to remove. Ontario Police is not going to remain at all. And you're showing them they're unstable. And they've given up. They're not even trying to act like they're not stalking and harassing and targeting. They've also engaged in what is removing my evidence off the internet. you're going to federal prison under all circumstances, and they will also, as you can see, they're going to be subject to mental examinations. This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:38 p.m. The entity engaging in the ongoing pattern on an ongoing basis. Psychopathic pacing everywhere that I'm at. They're not engaging in any police work. They are stalking me. Look at the wealth of the evidence from 2022. Where the Ontario police are engaging in the same thing when I'm at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts on a nightly basis, stalking me day and night. When I go to Fontana, sharing in that pattern of conduct, and coming back to Ontario, and they're gang stalking just like this, flying in circles over me, obsessing over me, harassing, and doing so while I'm documenting it. These are the imbeciles that are the reason why minor children are gang members in Ontario. P.O.C. It is 10:39 p.m. Just want you to see. This is the Ontario Police engaged in ongoing psychopathic pacing. So I'm maintaining my timer with regard to them stalking, and this is at 11 minutes and 4 seconds. And I gave a little 2-minute pause in between my last video, and then I just maintain the timer just to document the duration of time that the department is stalking in a helicopter. And this is exactly the criminal system that these gang stalking prepubescent little demons that are under and over a majority are engaging in with that department. You need to understand evidence of a department sharing in criminal activity, terrorism with minor children in the United States, terrorism, is the basis to disband, let alone kidnapping the target individual. They're going to prison and they're being disbanded. This is criminal summoning over here. They're engaging in criminal activity with the people of the state. They engage in criminal activity with the people of the state's demon-possessed offspring. That's what what was threatening me at the WSS shoe plaza. That's a shopping center. What do they always do? They use their police lights. That's light activity. They're doing so where the fake sun is here. Upland Police gang stalking at this intersection. And what time was that? 9 o'clock. And then I walked up to Princeton and Euclid Avenue, and I came back to this same corner that same day. That was about 3 days ago. And what time was it when this fake sun was over me at the same corner? 12 p.m. over the same person. That's called stalking with light, and that's what they're doing while they're stalking with helicopter. Doing so while you're documenting their demon-possessed children, stalking with light. Their demon-possessed children are going to be federally prosecuted in the U.S. In foreign countries, they put large bazookas. They put bombs in the hands of children, and those children are losing their own lives and taking the lives of other people. In the United States, the demon-possessed population who are a threat to children, while they also sexually violate them, they engage in the pattern of conduct by maintaining this corrupt system while they are engaging in that pattern of conduct over and under the age of majority, and they're doing so while they are fully exhibiting what is intent and knowledge, including to engage in what is violence, harassment, while you're engaged in criminal monitoring with their devices. All right, these little demons are very much engaged, and I have a body of evidence showing gang stalkers under the age of majority. They will be prosecuted under federal law. Federal group stalking and monitoring is that which shall be prosecuted based on engagement in the criminal elements of monitoring, as I have shown you that the demon-possessed are acting with that same intent and deliberation with the gang stalking government that maintains a corrupt system. Ontario police stalking, monitoring, harassing, engaging in criminal summoning with minor children. Criminal defamation with minor children, those over and under. That demon is turning on light activity. It's facilitation while these demons are stalking. That's what they're doing, but they're doing it without police lights. They're just not red and blue. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct. And from over there, your headlights are not going to be touching the wall like they are here. That's impossible light activity. That's a stalker. And that is what has given birth to the demons that are gang stalking me at the shopping plaza over and under the age of majority. And their demon-possessed children are going to be federally prosecuted in the United States as adults engaging in terrorism. Because that's exactly what I've shown you is the pattern of conduct. It does not change because they're under majority. The entity exploits the fact that they're minors engaging in terrorism. And you're going to respond to that with federal prosecution. They give birth to the predators. They're demons. It's demonic activity. They give birth to the predators. And they engage in that pattern of conduct. Okay, that's the P.O.C. And the entity is being engaged in what is stalking by helicopter while they're engaged in criminal summoning. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct. This is the entity that's engaging in that via minor children. All of them ganging up around me as though they're going to attack me. And I have to basically scold them while they're engaging in criminal activity, and that's the government.
The absurdity of a bunch of little bastard children gang stalking me. And it's the same thing with the entity engaging in gang stalking with all manner of the population that I'm not even going to take the time to expound upon because the ridiculousness of it. Who told them that they were going to bully anybody? This is what the government does with those that it certainly is just murdering them and killing them because none of them, they are all cowards. They are unfit. They could not stand toe to toe in a room alone. Okay, it makes no sense. But the issue is that they're gang stalking with the police who are stalking by helicopter and stalking in vehicles. That is incriminating to the people of the state. They're going to be prosecuted in the U.S. That's surveillance by the demon that is gang stalking in the truck, surveillance of the path, while they're engaging in psychopathic pacing. This entity commits kidnappings. That's what Craig Hazelwood and Owens committed, and they're going to prison for it. This entity engages in what is stalking with the people of the state by engaging in what is traffic stop. That's what S. Casas and those gang members are doing at 303 North B Street, at the 303 North Euclid Avenue, the Vos Church, that intersection across the street from the library where the fake sun is also rising and setting. They're engaged in light activity, relevant positioning, audible activity. They're stalking while they're acting like a police department, but they're not acting like a police department when you are looking at what is the pattern of conduct. It's not even close to law enforcement. It's blatant stalking. P.O.C. It's currently 10:59 p.m. and the entity has been engaged in what is stalking me by helicopter. The clock is at 16 minutes and 20 seconds. The entity is still stalking by helicopter because that's why the Ontario police, they started that together. And the two are connected with regard to light activity. That's a demon using a police vehicle. That's exactly what's going to be snatched out of those positions. That's exactly what is exposing Paul Leon. He's going to be federally prosecuted with regard to the pattern of conduct that I'm subject to by the city police who have conspired my murder and who have stolen my evidence with the intent to get away with a murder plot in order to gang stalk me, defame me, and then take my life so that nobody would question when you try to depict me as a drug addict. Oh, no, but I'm not a drug addict. They actually are. They're the ones that are the covert homosexuals engaging in what is a pattern of conduct with the people of the state and with minor children that are gang stalking me. P.O.C. It is currently 11 p.m. This is at the bus stop at 537 North Euclid Avenue. This is the light activity. Let me zoom out some. This is the light activity, and this is my shadows on the floor. My shadows here. This is the surveillance. They're stalking in traffic, and they're stalking using police lights to help everybody else that's stalking crossing path. That's why the Ontario police are not a police department, and they are being disbanded. They are demon-possessed, and they're severely mentally ill, and they're going to prison for evidence that was removed, stolen. My intellectual property, which is also evidence against them. Oh, they're murderers. They plan to get away with murder, and they're going to prison for it. This is P.O.C.
License plate 9LPC536, molesting. Stalking in the path is like that XHELLX license plate. Let's see which one this is. There's a demon at 320 North Euclid Avenue. On Sarah's Regis Group is lying in wait to engage in what is sexual assault and battery. License plate 3DFU503. And this is the sex offender, the one with the multiple weaves. She changes a weave every day. License 9EZK933. The African-American was Securitas, gang stalking me with the Ontario police in the infamous October 2025 video that's putting her in prison. P.O.C. It's currently 9:32 p.m. See, license 7MBJ902, I believe. Crossing path, stalking coming out of the Hensley Torta, 615 North Euclid, where their co-defendants are engaging in sexual assault and battery. And these two homosexual demons are inside of that venue sharing in sexual assault and battery. And they are now with bucket, crab, and crawfish, again, where their headlights are not going to touch the Hensley Torta building. And this sex offender license 9EVV441 is monitoring while that impossible light activity is coexisting with her stalking. And I just took a picture of it proving that. And I just want to be clear, that's her prosecution. It's that simple. This is state action. This is P.O.C. El Pescador is stalking. Bucket, crab, and crawfish, and everybody in that venue. They're engaging in state surveillance while a demon is engaging in what is exposing everyone simultaneously. I will civilly and criminally prosecute all of these businesses that are targeting together. This is P.O.C. It's currently, by the way, 9:39 p.m. where the population is sharing that pattern of conduct, and that's the government that's stalking through every business, engaging in sexual assault and battery like Securitas, engaging in that pattern of conduct with knowledge of who I am, while you're touching with that which you can never touch with. The headlights that are created by these manufacturers are not reaching that distance and blinding each other. And the entity is also stalking by plane in concert with 9 EVV 441. P.O.C. Just want you to hear that because that's her prosecution. Her turn signals light activity. And that's the airport that's stalking at the Stater Brothers this morning. Okay, hovering there and I guess dipping back down low again to then hover again over the Stater Brothers parking lot. She's a stalker, and so are all the people of the state. This is the entity that's going to prison, including the Ontario Police Department crossing paths. With the rest of the demons, they're no different. Those are demons that are a threat to the public because they go around acting like they're cops, and they're not. They're demons. They're stalkers. All right. It is currently, by the way, where the people of the state are engaging in criminal activity with the city of Ontario. It's currently 9:41 p.m. The entity is engaging in this at the Hensley Torta, that's 615 North Euclid Avenue, where they are sharing in sexual violence everywhere that I'm going. That's Securitas, that's Bucket Crab and Crawfish, that's ARCO at 434 North Euclid Avenue, that's the Bethel congregation, stalkers tracking my steps and going to the intersection so that they can take their turn, touching all over my body with that which is not even naturally occurring. This is what the demon-possessed do when they maintain a an ongoing sex crime while they keep a fake sun over me and all they're doing is pacing all around me stalking. This is the entity that's going to be committed. They will be subject to commitments and they will be subject to federal prison, just like that of the kidnappers of the Ontario Police Department, who are exceedingly violent sex offenders and psychopaths that want to wear badges and bear guns while they're engaging in the exact same criminal activity. P.O.C. License plate DD24U3, that's a paper plate, parked at what is, I believe this is 621, where Uber was gang stalking me. And so is this third party gang stalking me with Uber, sharing in sexual assault and battery at the facilitated venue where they reside. P.O.C. It is 9:42 p.m.